Hello everybody, welcome back. So we're on day 2 now after the dump and things are looking okay. So I'm going to say something, you're going to like this, or some people will hate it obviously, but you should like it. And don't take what I say as gospel truth, this is just what the charts are saying. There's lots of things that operate behind the charts which could cause a big upset in the market, but I thought you might like this. So we've already alluded to this either on yesterday's video or the day before. This is your Bitcoin dominance chart on the weekly, going back all the way to the last time we saw this rough area get tagged. It was tagged as a support that ended up in a $300, no, 300% rally for Bitcoin, basically. Probably more than that. When it finally broke out from that $12,000 resistance and made its way up into the 40s, which then led to an enormous alt season that made us very happy. Let's just say that. So, it's a matter of support and resistance is all it is. And obviously, when a support breaks, it turns to resistance. Same deal would be when a resistance breaks, it can turn to a support. And so this is the last time we were anywhere near this since we broke right through it. Was when it was relevant over here. It was also relevant at this area here. The area is a bit of a boxy zone, beginning at around 57% dominance, ending around 58.5% dominance, and it is a major resistance. So, it's like an obvious thing, but I like to say it. I always say it because some people are, don't, they're new. Some people are new to it. They're wanting to learn trading or whatever, or sometimes they just need reminding that when at resistance, expect a rejection. When at support, expect a bounce. So we're at a resistance now, even though it is a box, and the volatility of this chart on its own is a lot smaller than it used to be because the market is so diluted. So you're going to see smaller moves on a dominance chart, and it's taken a long time to get up to this level. We were down here November 2022 was the last time we were at the absolute lows. So we've been really in an uptrend for Bitcoin for a very prolonged period of time. Bitcoin dominance, that would be, without a major or substantial pullback, really. We've had some alt seasons in between. The October one was the best one that we've had. October, November, December last year. That was good. We enjoyed that. Now we could be looking at an alt season. I know that's not going to go down well with a lot of people because you're just seeing what could have been a capitulation or at least a major pullback, and it could even pull back even further. Remember, like I said at the beginning of the video, there are many things operating behind the charts which can influence price action. Black swans circle these charts, and we don't know which one's going to come pecking next. So you've always got to bear that in mind. But my personal approach hasn't changed since December when I was selling that alt season. We'd had 3 months worth of consistent, continuous, massive rallies on altcoins, and then selling December, largely in December, and then trading the buy the dip, sell the rip, March, April, really, and then that's when we were out. We being me, in a large cash position, waiting for these areas that we're seeing right now, really. A lot of my limit orders, if not all of my last limit orders, were filled. I'm happy to put more limit orders in if we start looking droopy on Bitcoin and the rest of the market, and I will buy back down lower. But personally, I'm quite exposed at this point. Certainly over 50%, getting towards 60%, I would imagine at this point. It's hard to say how much I've got riding specifically because it's across many platforms, and obviously the volatility, changes the ratio for good, for better, or for worse. But I am pretty exposed to the market. The best way to put it to look at it is that with all the profits that I made at the beginning of the year after that major alt season, those profits have been probably about 60% allocated. But again, you take that for what it is. Now, it's not just the dominance chart on its own. There is more to this. You've probably seen this if you watched my video yesterday. You've probably noticed it yourself. So Bitcoin dominance is now currently at a resistance. If we go to an Ethereum chart, which takes up an enormous part of the dominance chart itself, because Ethereum is by far the largest market cap of all the altcoins. we see that on a weekly, we've come down to this 200 simple and exponential moving average where we're bouncing from. So if you're ever going to get like a V-shaped recovery on any chart, it would take place from these areas. If you have a big dump, crash, consolidation, and you're still maintaining these areas on the chart, then a V-shaped recovery is not unlikely. So it's more likely than not. It's not guaranteed. It's more likely than not. And for us as traders, especially if you're interested in altcoins and you're expecting continuation for altcoins to new highs, generally speaking, you look at the Ethereum chart here and go, all right, so the weekly has come down to the last major support that we would like to see before a major rally. You know, when was the last time we saw this kind of move? So we had a big rally from here up to this level, and that was your portion of rally from 2022 into 2023. Then you saw a giant consolidation into a 200 exponential on the weekly, where it appeared to sort of level out into September and October, and then from October it rallied all the way from that low, which was 1600, all the way to 4000. So look, we could be seeing this portion now. We could be here. This is where we could be, which means that we might need a bit of accumulation. So you may not be late to the party. If you've missed this rally that took place after the dump on Monday, don't just go crazy and just buy everything you see because you've heard me talk about something. Think about it yourself, right? You know, what is actually going on these charts? You know, I'm talking a weekly chart here. That doesn't mean that by the end of today an alt season will begin. This is the very beginning signals or setups of what could be an alt season. It might already be underway and we don't notice it or don't recognize it. Or we might come back down to, like I say, navigate some new lows and continue dollar cost averaging into what will be a much greater alt season later on if we break through this resistance, because again, resistances aren't always the strongest thing you've ever seen in the world. We could easily break through, and the bigger alt season would take place up here, around about 62% dominant. So look, there is no like one way it's going to go, but if you are trying to trade on technical analysis alone, you have to take note of what it is that we're seeing. We're seeing the largest market cap altcoin in the world finding its way down to a golden cross on a weekly. So over the long term, you would expect that actually that's going to hold, generate a new local high, and then a breakout from that local high, and probably a new all-time high from roughly this area. And the dominance chart at a significant resistance, where we have seen things happen over the years, whether it's these supports, bang all the way up to the top, bang all the way up to the top, and now hopefully we'll see this as resistance. We did have a wick quite close to it that did generate some decent moves for altcoins, but we're back here again, and remember, it is a box, we can still go higher. So long story short, an alt season is more likely now than it's ever been this year. This is the first time where I'm happy to say the word as a realistic possibility. You know, about a month ago we were calling for the alt rally. We got that alt rally into nothing more than a death cross and a rejection, and here we are at lower lows. That was all different. That's why I refrained from using the word alt season back then. This time round, it's different. This time what we're seeing is, you know, alts down to significantly low levels. The leader of the pack, the head of the snake, being Ethereum at major support on a weekly, and the resistance on the dominance chart, you know, just teasing us with this top of the box. I don't know how far this would go if it were to break down. Remember, trading is a game of support and resistance, and if it is a game of support and resistance, you would look for the next major support and recognize that there was a golden cross there before the before the screen crashed. Look, I'm on holiday at the moment, all right? I'm trying my best to make videos and do Patreon stuff. Yeah, I'm trying my best. I've got 2 kids to entertain. I've basically spent pretty much 3 hours of every single day in a swimming pool, which again is nice, but it doesn't make it easy to trade at all. So you get what this is the best I can do. to make informative videos. And let me know if they are informative. I appreciate if you disagree. There is no right or wrong in technical analysis. There's only profit or loss. Anyway, one last thing I will show you if I'm able to. Probably not. Probably not. All right. Well, let me just try and load it up here. Let's just give it a go before we lose the plot completely. It's the US 500, which is the futures market to the S&P. I don't want to show you SPX because it's not as useful. I much prefer the US 500 because it trades as a futures market. There's before and after American market opens. And with that becomes better technicals. So that's the only reason I use it. So a little gem there. One of the reasons I'm relatively bullish on a V-shaped recovery is because of this this chart. If and when it loads up, but I do have a poor laptop. I have to admit to that. But it's more than that. I'm hotspotting my phone, and I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm amazed that I'm able to even get this kind of response from hotspotting my phone literally in the arse end of nowhere, which is where I am right now. Right, come on, load up my indicators, and we'll leave it with this one last little nugget of technicals. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. I just want to show one last thing, if that's okay, and then everybody can carry on with the rest of their day. Come on, just bring me up those. Bring me up the indicators. Come on, where's my moving averages? I need to show everybody this so we can all carry on with the rest of our day, and I can spend another 3 hours swimming around in a swimming pool, riding on the back of an inflatable turtle. And these things have to be done. Right, so this is what we're looking at here. The daily, doing the same thing as Ethereum's weekly, which is a perfect retest of the 200 exponential moving average. It is a golden cross retest. That's right, it is. And if you're going to get a V-shaped recovery from anywhere, you will get it from one of these, either the 200 simple or exponential. Currently, we're hitting the 200 simple. Yeah, we can get rejected at any one of these. I'm currently still riding my long position on the US 500. The first major resistance is going to be the 10 exponential, which is around about 5,350. The next one above that is between the 20 and the 21 and the 50, which is around 5,420. Then you've got the Bollinger Band Center, which is around 5,464. Once that's broken out, it's very easy to see a V-shaped recovery back up to the previous all-time high on the S&P, and then a continuation from that level. Again, black swans will deter any of this, and also these resistances. What do we say? Always expect resistance, rejection at resistance. Always expect a rejection at resistance. But currently, we're still moving on and up. So be cautious as you approach resistance. Definitely, you can be optimistic. That's perfectly fine. Make sure you've got stop losses. Believe me, my stop losses are in profit now. So if it all goes horribly wrong while I'm swimming around, I'm not going to lose anything. I'll still make money. Again, I'm casually trading. It's just an opportunistic situation right now. I wasn't really planning on trading while I was away and trying to just enjoy my time while while I am away. It's not really fair on the kids to be glued to any kind of screens and thinking about trades, but I do have a nice trade on the S&P still, and I've got a stop loss that's in profit, so I'm not looking to take profit at those resistances because I actually think that we are looking for a V-shaped recovery on the S&P. I think that is relatively likely, but don't be surprised if we get rejected. So look, any futures position needs to have a stop loss. Luckily, I got in on mine really good area, so I'll be stopped out in profit, but it's yeah, your trading style is your trading style. Mine is very cautious. I'm absolutely massively cautious, conservative trader. But I just thought I'd present this to you. An alt season is not unlikely. There is evidence for it. If we are not already seeing it in the price action and the lows are already in, over the next couple of weeks, we could be in full swing on this alt season. And I'm not suggesting you FOMO or do anything or do whatever you like, but it does look like there is a good possibility of an alt season either beginning soon or already underway. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Thanks for watching. Bring on the hate in the comments. When I mention Altseason, I normally get absolutely shot down, as I did in October when the last Altseason kicked in. Most people are unable to see what is coming next. They're only able to see what is right in front of them, and that is just human behavior. I'm not saying that that's a criticism on any particular individual, but usually that is the case, and that is why a lot of people, most people, are unable to trade successfully. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.